If you trace the DNA of modern wealth generation back to its origins, you arrive at a single text published in 1937, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. It remains the foundational manual of the 20th century self-improvement movement. The widespread interpretation of this work focuses on psychology. It's often presented as a framework built on positive mindset, sheer willpower, and the manifestation of desire. But an anomaly sits deep within the text. In Chapter 13, The Brain, Hill moves away from psychology entirely. He abandons the language of motivation to enter the realm of mechanical and structural theory. Napoleon Hill's thesis defines a specific mechanical model for the human mind. He states that the physical brain operates as a literal, dual-function broadcasting and receiving station. This relies on his concept of the vibration of thought. Hill defines abstract thoughts as measurable physical forces that travel through space with the same tangible properties as light or sound. To understand his law of success, we have to stop reading it as a psychological framework and analyze it as an engineering schematic. Hill wrote during the golden age of radio. The 1930s were defined by a revolution in telecommunications and the discovery of unseen electromagnetic waves. This wireless transmission technology provided Hill with the exact theoretical architecture he needed for his philosophy. The broadcasting function of his model uses intense emotion and concentrated desire as a power source, pushing thought vibrations outward into the environment. The receiving function utilizes the creative imagination as an antenna. It captures hunches, sudden inspirations, and external ideas from the surrounding space. While modern readers often view brainstorming as a metaphor, Hill presents a model of literal physical transmission. In this framework, success is a matter of tuning hardware to the correct frequency. Shifting the brain from a biological organ to a wireless transceiver requires a specific proof. Hill finds this proof in the incomprehensible scale and density of human neuroanatomy. He uses a central switchboard metaphor to describe the networking capabilities of the cerebral cortex. Hill cites a specific mathematical calculation regarding the total number of lines connecting individual brain cells. He records the figure as 1, followed by 15 million ciphers. This creates what can be termed a surplus complexity argument. Physical survival, growth, and bodily maintenance utilize only a small fraction of this processing power. Hill draws a mechanical conclusion from this biological excess. He argues that this infrastructure is explicitly designed for interfacing with intangible forces outside the human skull. In Chapter 13, Human Evolutionary Biology is framed as a preparation for tuning in to infinite intelligence. Hill leverages contemporary historical and scientific evidence to ground this theory. He aligns his work with specific historical figures who mastered the translation of unseen forces into tangible machines. He includes Dr. Alexander Graham Bell, noting Bell's success in translating physical sound vibrations into electrical currents. He also points to the cognitive experiments of Dr. Elmer R. Gates to map the mechanics of thought. These inventors provided Hill with a framework for vibrational translation. To validate the brain's receiving capability, Hill turns to a major academic citation. He cites Dr. J.B. Rhine's experiments at Duke University, which utilized 100,000 tests to determine the existence of telepathy and clairvoyance. Hill presents Rhine's results as published proof that the brain receives data from external sources. Anchoring his architecture to contemporary academic research gave Hill's metaphysics a persuasive veneer of hard science. The system moves from individual nodes to networked processing. This is the mechanical basis for the book's most famous concept, the mastermind. Modern readers often mistake the mastermind for a social dynamic or a simple brainstorming meeting. In the context of Chapter 13, the mastermind is a telecommunications array. When multiple individuals focus on a single problem, they physically synchronize their cognitive frequencies. This synchronization produces a high-amplitude signal that can pierce through static. This networked array processes information that a single, isolated mind cannot reach. The mastermind is a biological networking protocol designed to scale processing power. These hardware components and theoretical frameworks converge in a final analysis. The text of Think and Grow Rich centers on the application of the Carnegie formula for wealth accumulation. Accessing that formula requires the use of this specific transceiver hardware. While Chapter 2 identifies desire as the fuel, Chapter 13 presents the brain as the physical transmission engine. To execute the law of success, the reader must operate their brain as a calibrated transceiver in a universe of vibrating information.